Welcome back to Soda City Living. Today for Talking Trash, we are going to be talking with Columbia Green, with the president today. We have Austin Sagas. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, it's an absolute pleasure to be here.
I am so excited to have you. So first and foremost, Columbia Green isn't new. Columbia Green isn't green. It's new. It's actually been around for quite some time. So tell us a little bit of the backstory.
Yeah, sure. So we were founded in 1984, basically by a bunch of horticulturists, master gardeners, plant enthusiasts, and they were looking around their community and noticed in Columbia that we didn't really have a major, strong voice for environmental matters, beautification matters, canopy, like tree canopy, and so they founded a group that was meant to do more. And you know, it's taken us well over 30 years to grow and understand how can we keep growing. So from about 1980 till COVID, we did a lot of just grant funding projects. So what we would do is you could apply for a community grant. So that could be you as an individual, a neighborhood association, or a church, so basically anything other than a for-profit. And Columbia Green would work with you to help provide you that capital so that way you could revitalize and re-landscape something, whether, again, that's a church, a welcome sign, a median, whatever. And so after COVID, we started asking ourselves, this is great, but we think we can do more. And ever since, or around 2019, we got a large grant from a private individual to plant trees in underserved areas and in what we call red line districts throughout Columbia, which have a lot more infrastructure and which causes less trees, smaller canopy, it's hotter, not as pretty, right? And so we've been working on that project, and we've been quite successful in planting hundreds of trees in those areas. And so then after that was really a success, last year the City of Columbia got a $290,000 grant called Beat the Heat. And so when they immediately got that grant, they tapped Columbia Green to help manage that, because we're trying to keep adding trees to our community and to those high need areas. And so just from the past 5 years, we've gone from an organization that would award 3 to 6 grants a year to now we're able to award maybe close to 8 a year, and we're delivering hundreds of thousands of dollars in tree projects that are multi-year. So in the past 5 years, we've done a lot of growing. Some of the major partnerships that I would call out is, first off, it's the city. So I don't know if you noticed the beautiful medians on Bull Street, Elmwood, and Assembly, but we work with them to plant annuals and perennials on those medians in particular. So, you know, the city will ask for a reimbursement, and we'll work with them on that. And so that's been a long-term, long-standing partnership that we've had with the city, and we're always looking at ways of maybe planting more perennials so that way we can maybe expand to other areas. So that's one potential project. And then from that, a lot of the grant growth that has happened in recent years has been managing those projects with the city. So we found a new opportunity with a long-standing friend, right? Another good partner I would immediately recognize is Historic Columbia. So Historic Columbia has always been, we've actually called them a sister organization. And so they've been a wonderful mentor of ours. We look up to them both in terms of their size and their impact, right? They've helped us in a myriad of ways. We have actually a board seat reserved for Historic Columbia because we value their input and our relationship. And on occasion, we have funded different grant opportunities for them to beautify some of their historical properties. And likewise, they've included us in various events. There's some smaller partners as well that we always like to try to include and or support where we can. That could be the Midlands Native Plant Society, Sustainable Midlands, Richland County Master Gardeners. I apologize if I'm missing anyone else, but those are a couple, to name a few, that we really try to keep in our network.
That's beautiful. And tell us how people, if they're wanting to get involved, maybe they want to support, maybe they want to volunteer, what are some ways they can do so, and how can they go about that?
Yeah, so there's a myriad of ways to volunteer, and so we're learning that people might want to volunteer on just a specific project, like Beat the Heat or the Columbia Canopy Project, something like that. So what I would recommend doing is going to columbiagreen.org, finding those particular projects or initiatives, and just emailing us saying that you're wanting to get involved with those particular projects. Now, specifically with Columbia Green, I would say that there's two major avenues. There's being a Columbia Green member, but a volunteer, so you can sign up to be a member at columbiagreen.org.
Oh, nice.
Yes, with memberships as low as $40. And from there, you can volunteer in very specific activities, whether that's the grants that we award our community. You can maybe sit in and help decide on what exactly we should be doing to review those plans, ways that we can improve those plans. Maybe it's helping us plan for our annual Festival of Gardens, which is what we use to fund all of our grants. So that's a very event planning mindset. So if you like planning events, if you like beautification and flowers, yard tours, meeting people, that's another great way to be involved. And then the final thing I would say is if you're really attached to Columbia Green, you really find passion with our mission, we're always interested in board members, and so we would be more than happy to talk to you more about what it means to be a board member, how long those terms might be, the responsibilities of such, and then really getting into the strategic growth of our organization.